Welcome back, scientists. We're going to talk about a little more about the United States, actually, but then we're going to talk about why different places have different climates, and it's maybe not necessarily about the actual landforms. So take a look at this map. San Diego, which is right over here, and Dallas, which is right over here. San Diego's in California, Dallas is in Texas. They have the same latitude. That means that they're the same distance away from the equator. The equator is that line that's right in the middle of the earth. That's where it's usually the warmest, just because that's closest to the sun. Well, they have the same latitude. They're the same distance away from that middle of the earth line, or the equator. But they have very different climates. So, for example, rain in Dallas, they get about an average of 35.7 inches a year. But in San Diego, they only get about 10.2 inches a year. So we're going to talk about reasons why places that have the similar latitude might have different climates. One obvious difference between these two cities is their proximity to the ocean, or how close they are to the ocean. Notice that San Diego is super close to the Pacific Ocean, but Dallas is landlocked, and landlocked means that there's land all the way around it. Dallas is nowhere near a body of water. The average high temperature in Dallas is 96 degrees. That's how hot it is in Dallas typically in the summer. And on the other hand, San Diego, same latitude, remember, is only 75 degrees in the summer. Water in the ocean has a really high heat capacity, and it's much higher than land. We've talked about that. That means that the ocean changes temperature way more slowly than the land does. So on a super, super hot day, the beach feels really great because the sand is nice and warm because it heats up faster, and the water is cool because it doesn't suddenly jump to 96-degree water, right? The water is going to heat up more slowly. In the summer, the ocean is very slow to warm up, so the air above the ocean is quite a bit cooler. And as a result, San Diego is cooler. Because it's so close to that water, it takes a lot longer for San Diego to heat up versus Dallas that had no water around it. Once the ocean does heat up, it retains or keeps that heat for a long time. So land that is close to the ocean is going to have cool summers and warm winters. Just kind of mild, just kind of the same temp almost all year round. Coastal areas will have that moderate temperature. So if you live on a coastline or right by the ocean, so California, Washington, Oregon, over on the East Coast, there's Maine and New York and North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, that East Coast, you're going to have moderate temperatures, which means the temperatures kind of stay the same all year long. On the other hand, if you're landlocked, meaning land all the way around you, you're going to have more extreme temperatures because you're far away from the ocean. Which are we? Here in Minnesota, in St. Cloud, Minnesota, which are we? Are we a coastal region or are we landlocked? Yes, of course, we're landlocked. There's no oceans near us. So here in St. Cloud, we're going to have extreme temperatures. We are going to have very, very hot and very, very cold. Let's take a look. I wonder if I can have you take a look at this. I can't quite adjust it, so I'm sorry. I'll just maybe move my face over here a little bit, so you can ignore some of this writing over here. So there's different things that happen in San Diego. Again, we're talking about San Diego and Dallas. Just for reference, this is kind of 3/4 of the United States. We're right up here. This is Minneapolis, here in Minnesota, and St. Cloud is right here where this river, the Mississippi River, meets. This is actually I-94, that major highway. So St. Cloud is right here where my cursor is right now, just so you have an idea of where Dallas is in comparison to St. Cloud and where San Diego is in comparison. So the different structures of Dallas and San Diego, remember one is landlocked and one is coastal, is the reason that these cities have different climates. Summers in Dallas are hot and dry, and summers in San Diego are not. The difference is due to that moisture from the sea evaporating before it reaches inland. So all of this water out here is evaporating, kind of keeping San Diego nice and cool. Generally, coastal regions receive more rain, so you're going to get a lot more rain over here on the west coast than you are here in these landlocked areas. Clouds form when the water or the warm air from the land meets the cool air from the ocean. So why would this receive more rain? Why does Dallas then get more rain than San Diego? Because on that last slide, I just told you that San Diego has a lot of rain Dallas has a lot of rain versus San Diego. Well, there's this crazy Gulf Stream coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico, and that creates a whole lot of rain for Dallas. The cold air from Canada that moves south, so here's Canada up here, and there's some wind coming in from Canada and bringing in cold air. That's why we're kind of cold up here. Bringing in this cold air down here, and that kind of collides or crashes with this warm stream from the Gulf of Mexico, and often they crash right here, giving Dallas quite a bit of rain and thunderstorms. I'm going to I'm going to pause for a second because we're not going to do this stuff. And in our next slide, we're going to talk about this lake effect snow, but I'm not going to have you do that right now. What I'm going to have you do is explain to me in your own words on this last slide, explain to me in your own words why San Diego and Dallas have very different climates.